Today, I'm gonna undip, de-dip, or perform a dipectomy. Listen, heck, I'm gonna be ripping the Plasti Dip off this entire Camaro. I'm Rachel DeBarros, and this is Gearhead Diva. Not quite sure how this is all gonna come off, but it's a new season. It's time for a new color, heck, a new outfit, right? So before I get to ripping and tearing, what about a little history on this so we know what we're dealing with? The dip on this entire car is about a year old, a year and 2 months to be exact, and the original color is red. I have found that white out of all the Plasti Dip colors actually requires more coats for you to get that even look. And if you're doing a drastic color change like I did from red to Stormtrooper white, it actually helps to put like an intermediary color before you get to the white. So what I did was spray about 4-ish coats of gunmetal gray. That helped to knock out the red, and it gave me a new base coat to start painting on top of. And then with this white coat, we put at least another 4 coats down, if not 6 coats. So all in all, we're talking anywhere between 8 to 10 coats of Plasti Dip on here. And if you take a closer look, you can see that it is cured to a hard rubberized shell. So I'm really curious to see how this is gonna peel off. Something tells me that we're either gonna be confirming or debunking some popular Plasti Dip myths. So I figure my strategy here is just to take it panel by panel, and I'm going to leave the hood for last because there's a bit of a complication there that I'll get to later. So I'm just tracing the edges to see if there's a place where I can get my fingernail in there and just start to pull it up. Let's see here. Follow me down. I think I found a spot. Look, it's ripping. Wow. Oh my gosh. Check that out. I'm going to just try and go around the light here delicately. Let's see if we can rip this off in one fell swoop. Again, there are 8 to 10 layers of this stuff, or coats of this stuff on here. So hopefully we're going to avoid some of the problems that I've seen other people having where they spray the dip too thin and then it just pieces. And you're there for like 3 days trying to remove your dip in tiny, tiny little squares. Now this is where it can get a little tricky because the dip tends to get a bit thin here. Yep, you see this white I'm talking about? This could be a little tricky, but I'm going to try and get off as much as I can and come back with maybe a soft microfiber and just use the friction to remove the rest. Now going around this fog light here, just going to take it easy, a little thin, but it's doing its thing. All right, let's get down here and take a look. You can see I was real thorough dipping this thing. Every little piece of red got covered up. All right, so I have a microfiber in my pocket. Let's see if my theory holds. It is definitely gentle enough for the paint, but just enough grab that your fingers may not have with your hand oils on the dip. So I figure now's a good time to address this hood situation. And you might notice that we Plasti dipped black stripes over the white. So the only thing is that this red car did come from the factory with a racing package. So we do have vinyl sitting underneath all this Plasti dip that runs all the way across the hood, and it's exactly the same pattern that you see here, and also on the trunk. If you are married to your vinyl package, well, there's a good chance that when we rip this off, the vinyl might come with it. But I figure, you know what, let's try and maintain the vinyl and see what happens. You can see I'm chickening out. I'm kind of staying on the white. A little afraid to venture into the black area, but you know what? Let's just do it, right? Let's just see what happens. Look, guys, look. It looks like it didn't come up. It's right there. So let me start on this side, see if I can get similar results. Let's repeat. There is the vinyl, and it looks unharmed. Nothing is pulling up. I'm going to continue my merry way, pulling towards you guys. Could use a little more height, though. That would make it easy. This is going to get a little tough. Scooch down. The Camaro is back to its original red color, and I was even able to keep all the vinyl striping too. So it looks like I'm done here, and it pretty much took no time. Well, no, I'm not. So after all the panels got done, and you saw that the dip actually ripped off in big pieces. So thickness is key. Always err on the side of putting more coats on than you think. It makes it much easier to rip. But no matter how much you try, if you're going to dip your entire car, there are areas where the dip is just not going to accumulate enough, and then you're kind of stuck having to pick it out. And I'm talking about all in between the body panels, so around the edge of the hood area there, the door jambs, the inside of the mirror housings. How are we going to get to all that? Well, there's a couple solutions. For something like this, well, the dip is not thick enough to be able to peel, but it's also not thin enough to be able to just rub off with my thumb or a microfiber towel. There's got to be a way to dissolve this. And I found a couple solutions online. I've seen people use WD-40. I've seen them use Brake Clean, which I would never put on the paint. Don't do that. I also saw people use, they actually have dip dissolver on the market as well. But what I found works the best is good old-fashioned adhesive remover. This actually is Glue Gone, and I found that this just breaks it all down, turns it into a gel, allowing to use a microfiber to go ahead and remove it. And for really tight spaces, a little Q-tip. And that gets rid of all your dip. So I'm just going to let that sit. And this microfiber has been on the floor, so I'm going to get a fresh one. We don't want to be rubbing dirt all over our fresh paint, so you just want to let that sit for a while, let it work its way into the dip, and then start rubbing on it. And you can see it's already beginning to make the dip kind of like a liquidy gel type of thing, and it just comes off on your microfiber. And there we go. This I found was definitely the easiest way to remove stubborn dip. And if you just let all your little nooks and crannies soak up for a bit, couple minutes, you can come back either with a microfiber or Q-tips for really tough spaces and get that all out, and you're ready to start anew. So I might rock this color for a while, or I don't know, maybe a different color. What do you guys think? Or, you know, maybe black. You know what they say, a little black dress. It's a fit for all occasions. So I'm going to finish this up. I think this is the last of what I have. So that has been my dip removal experience. I love hearing your guys' comments, suggestions. Have you dipped your entire car before? Maybe you've done wheels or accessories. Post your stories below. If you have any tricks for removing or applying dip as well, post them. We all help each other out. Again, I'm Rachel DeBarros, and this has been Gearhead Diva.